In the shadows of history lies a story so captivating that it refuses to remain hidden. It demands to be told. This is the unknown legacy of Zalmoxis, whose faith and wisdom are about to be unveiled. Zalmoxis emerges as a hero of epic proportions, his name echoing through the corridors of time. As we delve into the depths of the past, we find the captivating story that challenges the very essence of what we thought we knew about the forgotten tales of humanity's past.
Și vin crescute lin pe drum de noroi, în cu boi, pe vânturi și floi, în când de erai. Sace tăcerea în ziua de vremuri și ani, onoarea, dreptatea vândute pe aur și bani. Una tătarea băgate în casă cu duhuri de rău. Cheamă la luptă lumii, cheamă la luptă lumii, cheamă la luptă lumii cu coadă de zmeu. În legământ, pe tristul mormânt, dur și pământ, în cont de argint. La umbră de tei, la umbră de tei, unde sunt ei, lumii cu coadă de zmei.
Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to our channel. If you're not a subscriber yet, we'll kindly ask you to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy what you see. It's completely free and we'll appreciate your support. This story is an amazing journey, as we delve into the captivating tale of the Immortality Myth, unearthing the ancient legend of Zalmoxis. Prepare to be transported through time and space as we uncover the enigmatic figure, the sacred location, and the pivotal era that shaped the destiny of a courageous and noble ancient civilization known as Dacia, now recognized as modern-day Romania. The choice to believe in this intriguing story lies solely with you. Dive into extensive research, exploring the clues of history, and allow your inquisitive mind to draw its own conclusions. In a place called Dacia, known today as Romania, lived a man, an exceptional genius named Zalmoxis. He is esteemed as the first spiritual teacher, and his profound insights on life, death, immortality, and the divine became enduring moral standards and life principles guiding the humanity. These teachings have transcended centuries, persisting to this day in various forms, later on validated also within religious doctrines and sacred texts, even including the Bible. Zalmoxis facilitated the conversion of the Geto-Dacians, regarded as the ancestors of the Romanian nation, to Christianity. His legacy continues to positively influence Romania and the world today. It's important to know that Zalmoxis' existence coincides with a period in ancient European history characterized by the incipient stages of writing's development. Accordingly, many of Zalmoxis' teachings were passed down through oral tradition over an extended period. The delayed availability of written information resulted in crucial details being overlooked and, consequently, generating confusion. Around 1400 before Christ, a writing system was primarily developed and used for administrative and economic purposes, consisted of syllabic characters representing the sounds of the Greek language. European writing systems, including the Latin alphabet used in English, was developed around the 9th century before Christ. Centuries after the existence of Zalmoxis had faded into the distant past, the teachings attributed to him were finally committed to writing. So, concrete historical evidence regarding the existence of Zalmoxis is limited, and the written records fail to adequately portray the true essence of his significance and contributions. Therefore, researching Zalmoxis requires considering a combination of historical records, archaeological findings, and scholarly interpretations of the available information. Zalmoxis, alternatively referred to as Zalmoxis, 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 or Zalmox, encompasses a range of name variations found in historical written records. The name Zalmoxis finds its origins in the ancient religious figure and deity from Dacia, known as Zalmoxis. The precise nature of Zalmoxis and his origins have been the subject of extensive scholarly debate. The only theory which gains significant credibility is the one supported by the Romanian historian and philosopher Mircea Eliade, a prominent interpreter of religious experience. Zalmoxis is derived from the word Zalmos, which in ancient Phrygian language means wolf. Considering the historical context of Dacia, as a sure fact, Zalmoxis was revered by the Dutch. As a result, the wolf assumed a legendary and central role in Dacia's cultural and religious traditions over the centuries, a symbol that resonated deeply within Dacia's civilization. The ancient history of Dacia reveals an intriguing and practical flag known as the wolf-dragon flag, which played a vital role in the defensive battles waged by the Romanian Dutch against the Roman army. This flag, in its original form, exhibited remarkable creativity and functionality. Dacia's wolf flag was a striking sight, featuring a meticulously crafted wolf head followed by a dragon-like body resembling the elongated form of a fish or snake. The body of the flag was adorned with scales, reminiscent of a suit of armor. This unique design showcased the artistic and innovative spirit of the Dacia's civilization. A fascinating aspect of the wolf-dragon flag was its functionality during movement. As the flag fluttered in the wind, a cleverly incorporated wind whistle within the wolf head emitted a shrill and piercing sound. This acoustic element contributed to the Dacian fearsome reputation as fearless warriors, evoking both awe and trepidation among their adversaries on the battlefield. The combination of the wolf and dragon elements in the flag symbolized the strength, resilience, and ferocity of the Dacian people. This distinctive flag served not only as a representation of their identity but also as a practical tool that enhanced their military tactics and psychological warfare. The presence of the wolf-dragon flag in the history of ancient Dacia underscores the resourcefulness and ingenuity of the Romanian Dacians. It stands as a testament to their commitment to defending their land and the creative methods they employ to inspire both their allies and strike fear into the hearts of their enemies. During an epic steeped in the magnificence of civilizations like ancient Greece and Egypt, where polytheism reigned supreme and gods such as Zeus, Poseidon, Apollo, Aphrodite, Osiris, Seth, Anubis, and an array of others were fervently worshipped, where legends and myths intertwined with the aspirations of mortals. From ancient beliefs, an extraordinary figure emerged. Zalmoxis, revered by the Dacians, evolved from an ordinary man to a highly educated mythological figure, often regarded as a priest, prophet, or even a god. A man whose existence transcended the boundaries of mortality itself, forever altering the course of human understanding. Driven by an uncontrollable thirst for knowledge, embarked on a quest that had eluded the grasp of humanity for millennia, the quest for eternal life. Searching for secrets of profound truths, through tireless learning, experimentation, and determination, he sought to decipher the intricate code of eternal existence, venturing beyond the boundaries of known science and conventional wisdom. Fueled by curiosity, Zalmoxis expanded his knowledge by studying Greek science and conventional wisdom. Seeking a deeper understanding, he embarked on a journey through what is now Jordanian and Egypt land, immersing himself in the rich tapestry of unconventional wisdom. Equipped with this newfound knowledge, Zalmoxis returned to Dacia, his homeland, pushing his experience furthermore. Zalmoxis embarked on an extraordinary journey, retreating to a subterranean chamber known as the Palavrigi Cave, within the captivating Carpathian Mountains of Romania. Stay tuned until the end, where we'll reveal the best way to reach this enchanting location. For 3 years, Zalmoxis immersed himself in solitude, surpassing all expectations as people presumed he died. However, Zalmoxis was alive and had chosen this path to transcend the boundaries of human existence and explore the realms of the spiritual world. Within the boundaries of the Palavrigi Cave, Zalmoxis underwent a profound metamorphosis, driven by an unwavering commitment to push the limits of his mind, body, and soul. He ardently sought the path of total purification, dedicating himself to an arduous quest of self-discovery. In this ethereal cocoon, he sought to attain a heightened state of consciousness, untouched by the limits of the physical realm. Zalmoxis' ceaseless determination resonated throughout his being, as he delved deeper into the depths of his own consciousness. He embarked on a journey of enlightenment, shedding the burdens of earthly existence to embrace a transcendental awakening. The Palaverji cave became a sanctuary, a crucible where Zalmoxis' spirit intertwined with the timeless energy of the cosmos, forging an unbreakable bond. Through his pursuit of absolute purification, Zalmoxis sought to unlock the untapped potential within himself. It was an audacious endeavor that only a rare few would dare to undertake. As he treaded the uncharted path, he surpassed the boundaries of what was considered humanly possible, ultimately emerging as a beacon of spiritual illumination. Zalmoxis' sojourn in the depths of the Palaverji cave was not a testament to his demise, but rather a testament to his unwavering resilience and his relentless pursuit of enlightenment. In his quest to reach a higher plane of existence, he invited humanity to explore the uncharted territories of their own inner realms, inspiring them to embark on their own transformative journeys. Thus, Zalmoxis' remarkable story serves as a testament to the boundless capacity of the human spirit and its ceaseless yearning for spiritual growth and transcendence. Fueled by his experience that seemed to defy the very fabric of mortal existence, Zalmoxis was ready to share his unique insights and wisdom with his people about the immortality of the soul. Esteemed philosophers of ancient Greece held the Dacians in high regard, a fact worth considering before we unveil Zalmoxis' profound insights and spiritual teachings. Let's reflect on the fascinating historical accounts where both the ancient Greeks and Roman emperors, in their writings, held the Dacians in the highest regard, occasionally referring to them as Getae. This notable recognition given to the Dacians by respected Greek philosophers or Roman emperors adds a captivating layer of significance to our exploration of Zalmoxis' teachings. Zalmoxis, the visionary figure, ignited the flame of courage within the hearts of the Dacians, empowering them to fearlessly face their adversaries and safeguard their sacred lands. A country called Dacia, known today as ancient Romania, part of one of the greatest civilizations ever existed, Thracian civilization, which back then extended east to modern-day Germany and south to the Caspian Sea, including in those times mainly the present-day countries of Romania and Moldova, as well as parts of Ukraine, eastern Serbia, northern Bulgaria, Slovakia, Hungary, and southern Poland. Herodotus, often referred to as the father of history, was an ancient Greek historian who lived during the 5th century before Jesus Christ. His major work, The Histories, provides valuable insights into the cultures, histories, and beliefs of various civilizations. According to Herodotus, in Book 4 of The Histories, the Getae were regarded as the bravest and most just among the Thracians. They believe are immortal and will live forever. Now I neither disbelieve nor entirely believe the tale about Zalmoxis and his underground chamber, but I think that he lived many years before Pythagoras. Zalmoxis' teachings served as a wellspring of inspiration, instilling bravery and resilience in the Dacians as they valiantly defended their territory in the face of formidable foes. The belief in immortality had implications for how Dacians viewed death and for their response to the Roman Empire military campaigns. It did foster a sense of hope, offering solace in the face of mortality and providing a framework for understanding the purpose and significance of life beyond the physical realm. This belief encouraged Dacians to resist Roman expansion and defend their homeland with courage and determination, even though Dacians were outnumbered. The Roman emperors, as a gesture of respect for the Dacians' bravery, commissioned over 100 statues representing them, surpassing the number dedicated to any other nation conquered by the Roman Empire. Remarkably, some of these Dacian statues even exceeded the height and size of the statues of the emperors themselves. Emperor Trajan himself acknowledged that the Dacians whom they had defeated were the most courageous warriors in the world, not only because of their physical strength but also because of the profound doctrine they embraced from Zalmoxis. Driven by the belief that they do not perish completely, but rather transition to another dwelling, they exhibited a remarkable willingness to face death, surpassing even the bravery displayed by others on dangerous journeys. Zalmoxis revolutionized the mindset of the Getae Dacians by introducing moral life principles, monotheistic belief, and the notion of immortality of the soul, propelling the Dacians to become the most advanced group within the Thracian civilization. As a result, even the ancient Greeks learned valuable lessons from the Getae Dacians who believed in Zalmoxis. For hundreds of years, the ancient Greeks embraced the teachings of Zalmoxis, as evidenced by the writings of the most prominent figures in history. Given that the philosophical, scientific, artistic, and social development of ancient Greece continues to hold important historical significance, it is remarkable to learn that the Thracians and more precise the Dacians possessed such advanced knowledge that they were esteemed by Greece's greatest thinkers. It is also truly remarkable that the teachings of Zalmoxis continue to be studied and applied in our daily lives even today, despite others wrongfully claiming credit for them as new discoveries. These life principles were originally expressed and shared by Zalmoxis nearly 3,000 years ago in Dacia. It is worth knowing that ancient Greek thinkers not only recognized value of Zalmoxis' teachings but also integrated them into the foundation of our contemporary beliefs. What is even more impressive is that Zalmoxis revealed these spiritual teachings, life principles, the concept of a single God's existence, and the immortality of the soul in times preceding the physical existence and teachings of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, as well as other revered spiritual figures such as Muhammad, Buddha, and others. How far we must go back through history to reveal the secrets of the illustrious Dacian civilization, inherited from Zalmoxis. Within the realm of the Thracian civilization, Dacia, known today as Romania, thrived under the enlightened principles of Zalmoxis, guiding its unparalleled progress and advancements. We find the initial traces of profound teachings and wisdom of Zalmoxis, skillfully crafted by Homer when he speaks about Dacians. The revered Greek poet of the 8th century before Christ occupies an illustrious place in history as one of the most influential authors of all time. His epic works continue to captivate readers, leaving an enduring legacy in the literary realm. Pythagoras, a Greek philosopher who lived from 570 to 495 before Christ, is renowned for his remarkable contributions to mathematics, geometry, and a multitude of scientific fields. His profound discoveries have left an indelible mark on disciplines such as mathematics, music, astronomy, medicine, and even early Christianity. Talking about the Dacians, in the Moral and Political Laws, Pythagoras once said, "Travel to the Dacians, not to impose laws upon them, but to learn from them." Among the Dacians, the fields are endless, all lands are shared, and they are considered the wisest of all peoples, as Homer tells us. As you may have already noticed, we intentionally used different pronunciations for Dacia and Dacians in the video. The original correct pronunciation for Dacia is Dacia, and for Dacians, it is Dacians. We made this deliberate choice to help viewers transition from the English pronunciation to the original pronunciation in case they decide to travel to Romania and engage in conversations about this legendary topic with locals. It's also important to note that the local original pronunciation may vary for other terms as well. For instance, when Romanians speak about Gedi or Dacians, they often say Dac or Dac. We included all these pronunciations solely for the purpose of facilitating communication in such situations. Going back to the story of Zalmoxis, we uncover intriguing connections between Pythagoras, Homer, and the Dacians. While Pythagoras quoted Homer and heeded his advice to learn from the Dacians, it is important to note that he was not referring to their laws as a legal system. Ancient Greece already boasted a robust and well-structured legal framework. Instead, the laws mentioned by Homer and Pythagoras were spiritual laws, which the Dacians had already incorporated, drawing inspiration from Zalmoxis. These spiritual laws had a noble purpose, to elevate people morally. They fostered a stronger sense of justice and social cohesion, uniting individuals and instilling righteousness, courage, and wisdom. Homer and Pythagoras, recognizing the advanced civilization of ancient Greece, encouraged their compatriots to embrace these spiritual laws from the Dacians and incorporate in their system. In their opinion, by assimilating Zalmoxis' spiritual laws, Attica, a region of Greece, would ascend even further. Furthermore, it is fascinating to note that Pythagoras did not uncover his mathematical and geometric theorems through traditional means, armed with pen and paper. He withdrew to a cave in a land of what is present-day Italy, seeking enlightenment and understanding of the unknown and enigmatic. Much like Zalmoxis, who purified himself within a cave, Pythagoras received from God a divine gift, the gift of comprehending geometry and mathematics. It becomes evident that Pythagoras not only acquired Zalmoxis' spiritual laws from the Dacians but also adopted their very process of attaining wisdom and unraveling the mysteries of their time. Unlike Zalmoxis, whose enormous contributions have not been fully recognized, his profound teachings were primarily transmitted orally initially, and later through writing by influential Greek thinkers and Roman emperors. In contrast, Pythagoras enjoyed historical recognition for his contributions, with his most significant achievement being the theorem named after him, which is still used today. However, even Pythagoras faced challenges as some scholars contested his brilliant contribution. Unfortunately, Zalmoxis faced an even more unfavorable situation. Not only did he not receive the historical recognition he deserved for the brilliance of his teachings, but there were numerous vehement critics who exploited the scarcity of written evidence, making it difficult to piece together a comprehensive account. These pseudo-scholars, driven by incomplete or malicious research, mistakenly translated his writings, falsely claiming that Zalmoxis established a cult with malevolent incantations and rituals. In this video, we will debunk these erroneous interpretations and shed light on the profound spiritual insights revealed by Zalmoxis, emphasizing the importance of acknowledging their true origins for the betterment of humanity. As we have previously mentioned, there have been instances where Zalmoxis, despite his significant teachings, did not receive proper recognition from certain scholars. Their incomplete research or biased intentions led them to overlook important evidence, even from prominent figures such as ancient Greeks or Roman emperors. Here's some evidence that illustrates this point through an example. Pythagoras, a figure highly regarded by many early Christians, serves as a prime example. Eusebius, 260 c. 340 after Christ, the bishop of Caesarea, expresses his admiration for Pythagoras in his work titled Against Hierocles. Eusebius commends Pythagoras for his commitment to silence, his frugality, his exceptional moral character, and his profound teachings. In another of Eusebius' writings, he draws a parallel between Pythagoras and Moses. Jerome, 347–420 after Christ, a church father, also praises Pythagoras for his wisdom in one of his letters. In another letter, he attributes to Pythagoras the belief in the immortality of the soul, which he suggests Christians inherited from him. These noteworthy accounts provide strong evidence that Pythagoras did indeed believe in the immortality of the soul. Furthermore, by considering Pythagoras' adoption of Homer's advice for ancient Greeks, it becomes evident that Pythagoras acquired knowledge of Zalmoxis' spiritual teachings from the Dacians. It is reasonable to conclude that Pythagoras incorporated these teachings, including the concept of the soul's immortality, into his own philosophy. The viewpoint of Herodotus, an eminent Greek historian and geographer who lived from 484 to 425 before Christ, adds another valuable dimension to this discussion. Regarded as the pioneer of systematic investigations into historical events and hailed as the father of history by the ancient Roman orator Cicero, Herodotus's meticulous approach revolutionized the field of historical scholarship. In his works, Herodotus said that he believed Zalmoxis lived many years prior to Pythagoras. The perspective of Herodotus holds significant historical value, considering that he lived from 484 to 425 before Christ, a time period that coincided with the life of Pythagoras, who passed away in 495 before Christ. This perspective highlights the significance of Zalmoxis as an influential figure predating Pythagoras, challenging the notion that Christians inherited the concept of the immortality of the soul from Pythagoras, as Jerome, a church father, had inaccurately implied. The concrete evidence provided by ancient Greek thinkers and even Roman emperors supports the idea that Zalmoxis introduced the notion of the immortality of the soul. As a result, it becomes clear that the belief held by Christians cannot be attributed to Pythagoras. Through his teachings, Zalmoxis introduced higher life principles and moral standards that continue to influence our lives today. Building upon these foundational teachings, we have refined and expanded our understanding of what it means to live a purposeful and fulfilling life. Life Principles 1. Immortality of the soul. Embrace the belief in the enduring nature of the soul, recognizing that life extends beyond our earthly existence. 2. Existence of a single God. Acknowledge the presence of a singular divine being, fostering a sense of connection and purpose in our lives. 3. Spiritual and moral life standards. cultivate a deep sense of spirituality and adhere to moral principles that guide our actions and interactions with others. Fourth, positive thinking and personal motivational strategies. Harness the power of positive thinking and employ personalized strategies to stay motivated and achieve our goals. 5. Mental health well-being. Prioritize mental health by nurturing resilience, emotional intelligence, and practicing self-care techniques that promote overall well-being. 6. Healthy diet. Opt for a balanced and nourishing diet that fuels our bodies, supporting physical and mental vitality. 7. Moderation in alcohol consumption. Exercise restraint and avoid excessive consumption of alcohol to maintain a healthy lifestyle and prevent potential harm. 8. Social justice. Advocate for fairness and equality in society, actively working towards creating a just and inclusive world for all. 9. Alternative medicine. Embrace complementary and alternative approaches to healthcare that focus on holistic well-being and individualized treatment. 10. Placebo effect. Recognize the power of the mind in healing and embrace the potential benefits of the placebo effect as a tool for promoting wellness. 11. Respect for nature and living beings. Cultivate a deep reverence for the natural world and all living beings, promoting sustainable practices and compassionate interactions. 12. Praying to God. Engage in prayer as a means of connecting with a higher power, seeking guidance, and finding solace in times of need. 13. Meditation. Practice mindfulness and meditation to cultivate inner peace, clarity of mind, and spiritual growth. Esteemed philosopher Socrates, originating from Greece, found his spiritual mentor in a Thracian Getic from Dacia, disciple of Zalmoxis. Plato, in his dialogues Charmides, delves into the remarkable initiations granted to Socrates by a learned Thracian Getic physician from Dacia, with whom he pledged unwavering dedication. The extraordinary nature of these initiations, their holistic vision, and profound wisdom are further illuminated when connected with compelling archaeological discoveries made on Romanian soil. These discoveries, substantiated by tangible evidence, attest to an exceptionally advanced level of medical practices among the Geto-Dach. In the following text, you will witness the unjust transformation of Zalmoxis from a positive figure to a negative one, as he was wrongly labeled as malevolent and subsequently banished from the annals of history. An immense contribution to humanity, encompassing life principles that continue today to shape fields such as medicine, law, military training, psychology, personal development, religion, and more, was disregarded for centuries. Yet, these very principles were later rediscovered by others who wrongfully and unjustly claimed credit for them in history, leaving Zalmoxis' rightful place in history unrecognized. This transformation was brought about by scholars who, through erroneous translations of Zalmoxis' teachings, misled humanity. Despite the clear evidence that Zalmoxis' teachings conveyed the exact opposite, they were misinterpreted and twisted to fit a different narrative. As a result, the true essence and wisdom of Zalmoxis' teachings were obscured, causing a significant disservice to both Zalmoxis and humanity as a whole. Let us examine what Socrates, who served as an infantryman in 3 wars, reveals in the dialogue Charmides about the teachings bestowed upon him by the physician Thracian Getic, disciple of Zalmoxis from Dacia. This Thracian Getic from Dacia was just one of many disciples of Zalmoxis. He was a skilled healer serving in the Thracian army, whose medical expertise proved invaluable in assisting Greece during their war against the Persians. Rather than providing an accurate translation of Zalmoxis' teachings, as Socrates said, the translation of Socrates' words was distorted, leading to the propagation of a flawed interpretation that sounded something like this.
This is how it goes, Charmides, with this spell. I, Socrates, learned it there in the army, from a Thracian physician, one of the disciples of Zalmoxis, who is said to grant immortality to people. This Thracian stated that the Greek physicians were right to speak as they did earlier. However, he added, our king, Zalmoxis, who is also a god, tells us that just as we should not attempt to heal the eyes without considering the head cannot be healed without taking the body into account. Therefore, we must care for the body together with the soul, and this is why Greek physicians struggle with many diseases, for they do not comprehend the entirety they are meant to attend to. If the whole is unwell, no part can be healthy. According to him, all things, both good and bad, for the body and the whole person emanate from the soul and flow from there, like a stream from the head to the eyes. Thus, we must primarily address the source of illness, allowing both the head and the rest of the body to enjoy good health. He would say, my friend, that the soul is healed through incantations. These incantations are beautiful words that give birth to wisdom within the soul. Once wisdom is awakened and remains steadfast, it becomes easy for both the head and the body to experience well-being. When he taught me the remedy and the incantations, he said, do not allow anyone to heal your head with this remedy unless they first entrust you with their soul, so you can heal it through the power of the spell. Moreover, he emphasized that this is the greatest error people make, when certain physicians exclusively seek to cure either the soul or the body. He advised me, adamantly, not to be swayed by anyone, regardless of their wealth, noble lineage, or physical beauty, to act differently. Therefore, since I have made an oath to him and am obliged to heed his advice, I will indeed comply. If you wish, according to the stranger's counsel, to entrust me with your soul first, so that I may enchant it with the Thracian spells, I will also provide you with a remedy for the head. If not, I cannot assist you in any way, dear Carmides.
Although the text in Carmides' dialogue initially appears to be positive with elements of admiration towards the Thracian jet healer from Dacia, a disciple of Zalmoxis, the use of words with dark connotations like spell or incantation unjustly undermines Zalmoxis' contributions to humanity. Such word choices unnecessarily overshadow his profound impact. Replacing negatively connoted words with others that have a positive connotation would have better encouraged humanity to recognize and embrace Zalmoxis' teachings, benefiting from the value they bring to people's lives. For instance, a more suitable presentation that accurately reflects Zalmoxis' teachings would replace the term incantation with healing songs or soulful verses and substitute spell with prayer or curative words. Furthermore, the text itself highlights the inconsistency between the terms used, stating that these incantations are beautiful words that add wisdom to the soul. The inherent limitations of human comprehension and interpretation of Zalmoxis' orally transmitted spiritual and moral teachings have only deepened the confusion. For example, practices such as purifying the mind, soul, and body through prayer, fasting, abstinence, or moderate alcohol consumption were perceived as difficult actions, often viewed as sacrifices by the people. Regrettably, many individuals took these sacrifices to extremes, driven by their desire to appease Zalmoxis, whom they considered a deity, and to receive prosperity and success in return. This misguided zeal led to even human sacrifices, oblivious to Zalmoxis' intention of personal sacrifice as a means of purifying the mind, soul, and body through prayer, positive thoughts and actions, a vegetarian diet, and abstaining from alcohol, among other things. Another striking example pertains to Zalmoxis' reference to what we now recognize as the Holy Spirit of God, as he proclaimed that all things and beings are set in motion by divine fire. Regrettably, disciples misinterpreted these spiritual principles literally, ceasing to bury their dead and instead opting for cremation, believing that such an act would ensure their soul's journey to Zalmoxis, whom they revered as a god. These misguided actions and interpretations have unfortunately cast a shadow of darkness upon Zalmoxis' spiritual teachings, despite their inherently elevating moral essence. Furthermore, the subsequent failure to properly adapt writings regarding Zalmoxis' spiritual teachings has perpetuated this misconception. Consequently, certain scholars, in a further misjudgment, labeled Zalmoxis' disciples as members of a cult practicing demonic rituals, compounding the misrepresentation of Zalmoxis' teachings. Despite these misinterpretations, the Greek thinkers had the wisdom to incorporate the spiritual and moral teachings of the Dacians inherited from Zalmoxis into their own routines and beliefs. For instance, Hippocrates even integrated into medical practices the oath that Socrates made to the Dacian healer in order to receive the spiritual secrets with a vindicating role, including the total agreement of the patient to be saved by the healer. Even today, the Hippocratic Oath is still being used as a solemn commitment made by physicians, where they vow to prioritize patient care, safeguard life, uphold professional integrity, under the complete approval of those they treat. Today, Hippocrates is considered a Greek physician of the classical period, 460 to 370 before Christ, widely regarded as one of the most significant figures in the history of medicine. Traditionally hailed as the father of medicine, Hippocrates' enduring contributions encompass prognostication, clinical observation, systematic disease classification, and the authorship of the Hippocratic Oath. This timeless oath continues to shape medical ethics in our days. Alfred North Whitehead succinctly captured Plato's significance, remarking that the European philosophical tradition can be characterized as a series of footnotes to Plato. Another element that contributed to confusion regarding Zalmoxis is the literal interpretation of Herodotus' statements, specifically that Zalmoxis was a slave. This assertion was adopted by the Greeks because many of Pythagoras' beliefs and practices resembled those of Zalmoxis, including withdrawal into a cave. The Greeks from the Hellespont and the Black Sea wrongly claimed that Zalmoxis was a slave of Pythagoras. This error misplaces Zalmoxis' existence in the same period as Pythagoras, which doesn't make sense considering Herodotus' own words that Zalmoxis lived many years before Pythagoras. The label of a slave attributed to Zalmoxis by Herodotus is figurative and metaphorical. Herodotus' definition of Zalmoxis as a slave makes sense when viewed from the perspective that being a slave figuratively implies being an intensely devoted, consumed, or controlled person in the pursuit of understanding and exploring a certain concept. So, if we refer to the immortality of the soul and Zalmoxis' dedication to deciphering the code of immortality, then yes, we can correctly consider Zalmoxis as a slave in the sense of being intensely devoted, consumed, or controlled by the pursuit of understanding and exploring the concept of the soul's immortality. It implies a state where Zalmoxis' entire focus and existence revolve around this particular area of research, often at the expense of other aspects of life. Understanding this, it becomes evident that Zalmoxis couldn't have been a slave of Pythagoras, who was later liberated. We can metaphorically interpret this as meaning that Pythagoras assimilated many of Zalmoxis' practices and beliefs, discovering additional secrets in his own areas of interest based on Zalmoxis' insights. Moreover, Herodotus' belief that Zalmoxis lived many years before Pythagoras guides us in the right direction when investigating Zalmoxis' existence. The description made by Herodot and Strabon of the place where Zalmoxis lived clearly points to a location in Dacia, the present-day southeastern Romania region called Dobroja, more precise places Basarabi and Babadag, along the Black Sea coast where the St. Gheorghe branch of the river Danube River flows. It was in this region that Zalmoxis resided before delving into the study of unconventional knowledge in what is known today as Egypt and Jordanian land, only to return to Dacia and retreat into the famous Palavrigi cave. This interpretation gains strength from Homer's words, travel to the Dacians, not to impose laws upon them, but to learn from them as quoted by Pythagoras, indicating that the Dacians were highly advanced precisely because they incorporated the wisdom of Zalmoxis. Many of Zalmoxis' teachings stemmed from an intensive study of the laws governing life and death, and their depth was shared even before Zalmoxis retreated into the cave. The 3-year purification process in the cave, involving personal sacrifice, extended fasting, and intense prayers, served as divine confirmation of what Zalmoxis intuited about the truths of life and death. Supporting evidence can be found in archaeological discoveries in places like Basarabi and Babadag from Dobroja within present-day southeastern Romania, where the Dacian community had already embraced cremation as an alternative to traditional burial practices and where in the proximity of this river branch of the Danube, known as St. Gheorghe, over 100 remaining Ghetto-Dacian fortresses were constructed and attributed to Zalmoxis, each holding its own significance. Also, the caves like Beshtepe to Salsovia Mahmudia and beyond, stands as a testament to his legacy and practices of Zalmoxis purification through personal sacrifice, extended fasting, and intense prayers. After studying unconventional wisdom in the land of Egypt, Zalmoxis did not return to his birthplace where he had lived before. Instead, he withdrew into the Palavrigi cave, which was closer to Sarmizegetusa, the capital of Dacia, and had direct connections through underground tunnels within the cave. That is the reason why Zalmoxis' beliefs were more readily and widely accepted by the Dacians due to his seclusion in the Palavrigi cave. This led them to believe that Zalmoxis had died and resurrected, possessing supernatural powers beyond the reach of ordinary people. Consequently, it becomes evident that Zalmoxis lived even before Homer, placing him in a time preceding the 8th century before Jesus Christ. But why did Zalmoxis receive such a valuable gift, the supreme wisdom to decipher the code of life and death? Why did he understand before many other wise individuals that physical death is merely a threshold and that the soul is immortal? To comprehend this, Zalmoxis himself guides us through his spiritual laws. He states the following in his spiritual laws.
Beyond the flow of time, there is the divine living and eternal fire, from which everything comes and through which all that exists comes into being.
By stating that, Zalmoxis refers to the Holy Spirit, whom he also calls the eternal fire, which is the connection to God, without whom nothing can exist. Zalmoxis also explains how human nature operates, showing that the starting point is the personal comfort of the body and the peacefulness of the soul, which generate mental strength. To attain this, the human mind must be guided towards positivity and comfort. Take a moment to listen to what he said.
This is the essence of human nature, to guide them, initially steer their thoughts and emotions towards a nice and comfortable realm. Love represents the main power, embodying itself in the form of light. The light of people is their thought, and this is their most precious treasure. The thought as divine light gains strength through words, and this is how the human will ignite the divine eternal fire through which all things around them are accomplished. Be mindful of where your thought must reach, what is the destination, and you will see that nothing stands in its way. Let your thought remain clear until the end, because many obstacles will arise in its path. The fruitful peel of thought is willpower, and without willpower, thought fades and serves no purpose. But the power of thought resides within patience. Draw your strength from patience, and utilize it through the clarity of your thought.
That's exactly what Zalmoxis did, to decipher the code of immortality, pursued wisdom relentlessly, kept his mind clear until the end and patiently overcame all the obstacles that stood in his way. Through willpower, he reached the heights of knowledge and understanding by progressing from mastering advanced Greek scientific principles to delving into unconventional techniques of the Persians and Egyptians. Desiring to conclude the search, he withdrew into solitude in a cave. The Palavrji cave offered him a place to live all year round, with a steady temperature of 9 to 10 degrees Celsius inside, no matter how hot or cold it was outside. Just think about how difficult it must have been for Zalmoxis, fasting intensely and surviving with limited natural food sources for 3 whole years, without any meat or animal products. In this state of minimal physical survival, in the middle of suffering and purification, Zalmoxis likely felt what many others have reported following their personal near-death experiences. In these extreme conditions, his brain produced large amounts of DMT, activating the pineal gland known as the third eye or seat of the soul. DMT, a natural compound found in small amounts in the human body, is released by the brain during altered states like dreaming. Dreaming can spark creativity and innovative solutions. In times of extreme trauma, like Zalmoxis' challenge in the cave with long intense fasting and isolation, the body released a big amount of DMT, leading to intense breakthrough experiences. These experiences involved encounters with otherworldly beings and profound insights. In this heightened state of lucid wakefulness, Zalmoxis' awareness and consciousness remained sharp, unlike the reduced state of a typical dream. Fortified by faith, personal sacrifice, intention, and prayer, he received the spiritual wisdom from God. Zalmoxis went further by sharing his beliefs and faith with the entire Dacian nation. Zalmoxis profoundly influenced Dacia, known today as Romania, sparking a ripple effect as neighboring nations embraced moral values, life principles, and soul immortality. This radiated admiration from leading ancient civilizations like the Greeks and Romans. Today, Western societies aspire to match the spiritual advancement of this civilization. Zalmoxis uplifted people, fostering courage, social justice, and establishing pillars of medicine, law, philosophy, personal growth, religion, spirituality, etc. Notable Greek figures like Homer, Pythagoras, Plato, Hippocrates, Socrates, or Roman emperors like Trajan and Constantine the Great drew inspiration from Zalmoxis, leaving a lasting impact on these fields. What's remarkable is that Zalmoxis' teachings were transmitted orally, in a time when tools like writing, books, mass media, or social media were unavailable. Another remarkable aspect is that Dacia, known as ancient Romania, represented the most advanced country within Thracian civilization. Notably, according to Herodotus, Thracian civilization was the biggest in the world after India. Thracian civilization covered a vast area similar to the extent of modern-day Europe. Despite that, throughout its history, Romania abstained from aggressive actions against other countries, focusing on the defense of its lands, a reflection of the principles passed down from Zalmoxis. Today, civilized Western nations attempt to adopt the same principles espoused by Zalmoxis. Nevertheless, given their history marked by military aggression towards other nations and serious injustices such as slavery and discrimination, their collective and individual consciousness is burdened. Consequently, despite their otherwise positive lifestyles, they exhibit the world's highest rates of mental illnesses and suicides. To help humanity, God sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to elaborate His spiritual laws during a time when writing had become accessible to humanity. Jesus' teachings were then meticulously documented in the Holy Book, the Bible, which stands as the most pivotal and enduring work in history. In the Bible, Jesus is quoted as saying, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them but to fulfill them." The Dacians embraced Christianity immediately, as they found that its moral and spiritual principles resonated with those they had long adopted from Zalmoxis, their greatest prophet. Zalmoxis encouraged the Dacians to give up consuming alcohol, among many other things. One of his prophecies was that Dacia would lose its independence after a war with a new huge empire if the Dacians did not give up alcohol consumption. Historical sources record that Burebista, a great Dacian king, would have ordered the burning of the Dacian vineyards, advised by Deceneu, a high priest and disciple of Zalmoxis. After the conversion to Christianity, the consumption of wine became a habit again, and Dacia lost the war against the Romans, thus fulfilling Zalmoxis' prophecy. The droplets of water dripping down the cave walls are considered by locals to be tears of sorrow shed by Zalmoxis after the loss of the war.